2001 on a Y CLK230. So that's the 2.3 compressor engine, petrol obviously, with an automatic gearbox in that lovely launch colour. These things are starting to look really, really good now, especially now some of the scruffier examples are disappearing off the road. A nice one like this is really starting to shine out. I'll show you the roof working in a second, but we're going to start by having a good look at the bodywork and go through the interior. Then we'll get the engine started up. Right, starting on the driver's side, if we look down this side, you can see it's nice and straight all the way down there. There's no marks at all to note on that front driver's wing. The arch itself is clean and sharp all the way around. Nice tidy alloy wheel with a good tyre on there. Coming down this side, got a bit of a leaf stuck there, we'll get rid of that. All nice and tidy along that sill. The jacking points are in place where they should be. There's no parking dings or anything on the door. Lovely and clean on the wing mirror and coming up that A-pillar. It's quite often these can suffer from a bit of delamination in the bottom under the under the wiper, but as you can see, this one's all good and nice and clean on the windscreen itself and on the stainless trim across the top. Quite often with this trim, it can go quite milky and horrible, but this one, as you can see, is all very good. Nice and tidy coming down that rear quarter. Got a little bit of polish there, we'll ignore that. And again, lovely and sharp in that rear arch. Normally you get a bit of rust coming through here and a bit down here, but this one's all good. Another good wheel and tyre. And then if we look back up here, you can see lovely and straight all the way up, all the way along. Coming around on the back, both tail lights are bright and clear with no cracks or any moisture in those. Third brake light looks to be all good as well. Normally they can get a bit minging, but that one's nice. Lower half of the bumper's good. There's no scratches or scrapes in that. The exhaust sits nice and straight. And the top of the boot lid, apart from a couple of bits of water spots that we've left on, is all lovely and tidy as well. Same story for the deck lid. Again, no marks or anything on that. Where it meets the seats is nice and clean as well. We'll have a good look at the interior in a second. And then coming down the passenger side, you can see again, not full of filler, not full of ripples, nice and straight. Tiny little scratch on the arch there. The arch itself is lovely and sharp. Another good wheel and tyre. There's not really anything at all to note on the passenger side. Really nice and tidy. Apart from that, we've done a terrible job of drying it. We'll ignore that. All good around the wing mirror. All this trim, lovely and clean. And then on the front arch, there's no sign of any corrosion coming through down the bottom in the usual spots. The arch itself is nice and tidy. Another good wheel and tyre. And amazingly, the indicators on the side on the wing mirrors are very good. Normally they're full of moisture by now. All the headlights, lovely and clear. It's a later car, so it's got the Xeon headlights, but normally they're quite milky. This one looks to be very good. Got a little bit of polish there, we'll ignore that. Nice and clean around the grille, and the lower half of that front bumper's all good. Stone chip wise, really very few to note. There's maybe one there if we're being really picky. You can't even see it on the camera. Rest of the bonnet all nice and straight. Interior, so it's this lovely launch blue colour with the off grey interior. The handles, these normally have like what's almost like a suede effect on them. These have done what they always do and bubbled up. But other than that, nice and tidy the door card. You could do with a decent clean, but there's no chunks or tears out of it. Driver's seat, a little bit of wear down the bottom there. But the rest of the seat's all good. A little bit of wear on the steering wheel, but nothing major. 99,579 miles. Clean and tidy on the top of the dash and down all that wood pack. And then to the back, I mean, as you'd expect from most four-seat convertibles, it doesn't look like it's been used hardly at all. All lovely and clean in there. And again, these have the grey seatbelts. They're normally ingrained with dirt. This one, they're all good. Into the boot, and actually for a big convertible top, it doesn't take up a huge amount. You've still got a good amount of storage space in there. This obviously disappears away when the roof's away, but in there looks to be all nice and tidy. There's no moisture in there, anything like that. Passenger side, again, nice and tidy on the door. It's got the same thing with the bobbles on the handle. Minimal wear on the seat there, maybe a tiny little bit on the bolster if we're being picky, but other than that, nice and tidy. Got dark mats down, which look like they've protected the cream carpets underneath. All this side piece is good. That's normally the bit that gets the wear, but that one's all nice and tidy. Right, we'll put the roof up, have a look at that, and then we'll fire it up. So on this era make, it's ignition on, hit the button down here, you'll see it light up, and then the deck lid will come up and the roof comes up I do prefer it with the ignition on, engine off. And then down that comes here. It lifts it at the back. And down that goes. It does have a glass window in these sides as well, which is nice. And then on these ones, push the safety toggle to bring that down, pull that down, and there you go, roof's up. And from there, fire it up. So again, glass window on the back, no nasty fumes or anything coming out the back. Well, now we've started it up, it's all lovely and tidy on that hood. Little bit of a mark there, just where it's been down for the photos and things, but it's not worn through or anything like that. We have pressure washed this, there's no water coming through it. It's all good on there. Normally these ribs can be a bit warm, but this one's particularly good. And on the front as well. And then under the bonnet, like we say, we've got that 2.3 litre compressor engine. Ticking over nice and happy, looks nice and standard in there as well. Not messed with, no nasty exhaust or filters, there's no oil dropping on the floor underneath there. So there you have it. 2001 on a Y CLK230 compressor convertible. Any more questions, please get in touch. Thank you.